This is Lynn Shay, and you are listening to the Horror Squad podcast. Turn it up loud.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Horror Squad podcast. This is episode number 389, where tonight we will be talking about 2025's 28 Years Later. The follow-up and highly anticipated, of course, sequel to 28 Days and 28 Weeks Later. 17 years, I think, or so, waiting. Was it worth the wait? You'll have to wait until the end of our episode to find out. I'm here, of course, as always, with Steve and Todd, who held down the fort last week as I was out, but I am so happy to be back. Gentlemen, how you doing? How was your week?
It was okay. It was okay. I went golfing for the first time,
Oh, like actual
and
golfing?
actual golfing, and
Like first time
yeah,
this year or first time?
ever,
Wow.
baby,
Okay.
ever. I've done like Top Golf a couple times, but that's obviously
Right,
not
right.
golfing. Um, yeah, man, I suck. I suck
It's
bad. I
Yeah,
tough.
suck
It's
hard.
tough, dude.
it's so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard, man. Like I,
Mhm.
I've swung a bat, my entire life, so like I want to swing it like a baseball bat, but he's like, keep your wrist straight or keep your elbows straight. I'm like, I'm trying, but like it was awful. Definitely the weak link on my team. We went like 15 over par. Yeah, probably maybe the last time I'll go golfing. We'll see. So
No,
I don't
come
know.
on.
We'll see. I don't
No,
know.
you gotta keep it out there. It's nice. You're out in nature,
It's hot
swinging the
as fuck this
club.
weekend too, man. So
That's the toughest part about it.
mhm.
Well, keep it going, Go to the driving range, work on some
Mm,
things. You'll be
we'll
great
see.
in no
We'll see.
time. I've been
Well,
doing it for years and I still suck ass. So,
Yeah, it's tough.
Steven.
It's tough, man. Like the first time I played was on a par three. My very first ball, I hit the green, and everyone's like, "Oh shit!" And then like not
it's
a
great.
single other shot fucking was any good. Like I fucking hit everything but the fucking course. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's tough as shit. Like yeah, I'm the same thing. I played baseball my whole like childhood, so that's I don't know. My movements just don't move like a golfer. So I stick to mini putt now
Mhm.
mostly. It's more fun. Which I
Mhm.
got to play with some listeners. A lot of fun there, and yeah, it's back right now. I'm trying to do it once a week if I can, and it's good times. So, what about you, Joe? You missed an episode.
I,
You missed a Lynn Shay
I did.
interview episode.
I
Even though you were
know.
there for the interview, but yeah, how you been?
Yes. I've been good. Just been extremely busy working nonstop, 16-hour days, back to backs, and a whole bunch of stuff. I'm trying to buy a house. I'm sick of being in this apartment, so I'm like, let's just do it, baby. Just go crazy working this year, and hopefully by year's end can get into a house or something. We'll see. Might take one more year, but because the housing market is very, very fair right now, very cheap. It's very easy to
Yeah.
afford a house right
Are
now.
we
So.
staying in Salem, Joseph? Are we going a little bit further out? What are we thinking?
We were discussing this the other day. I am not handcuffed here. I don't need to stay in Salem, but I think we would like to stay in Salem. But I think it just depends what's available, I guess. If we find the right house here in Salem, we will. But we have some like like a yard is a must, and yards are in parking, and make sure there's like because Salem has like a lot of houses with just street parking, and I'm like, nah, I don't
Ugh.
want to do that. Like that's like a nightmare, especially like in snow, with snow and everything. So, needs a yard obviously for the dog, needs good parking situation and not like where the neighbors are like fucking can look over the fence and be like, "Howdy, neighbor," a Wilson type situation from Home Improvement. I want some space. Sorry, Wilson. You seem like a good enough neighbor. He was always very helpful, but I'm not into it personally. So, just space and whatnot. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe I would say, but not 100%. I think necessary, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think we'll probably end up staying in Salem if I were to guess, but we'll see. We'll see. As far as other things I did. Speaking of golf, I did attend an actual PGA tournament with which was pretty cool. last week, the Travelers Championship in Connecticut. Seeing professional golfers golf is really something to behold. Like when you actually go out there and golf, it is amazing, like how talented they are, and like just it's unbelievable. Like watching them, it's crazy. And then yesterday I attended Collectors Con, which was pretty cool. At a hotel in Boxborough. They're doing it again in October and November of this year. Won't be able to attend October because it's literally the same weekend as our Hocus Pocus event. But in November, we are definitely going to go and check it out. Sam was actually talking about getting a table to vend at it and selling some of her like vintage Halloween stuff and whatnot. So I'll keep you guys updated if she ends up doing that. But great little event. For sure. It's put on by Northeast Comic Con. We met the guy who runs it. He is really, really awesome. And yeah, actually, surprisingly, I had no idea, but surprisingly, a ton of horror stuff, a lot of like vintage stuff. I didn't end up picking up really anything at all. I was like on the fence. I almost picked up a Dawn of the Dead like movie pin promo thing. But I didn't go and grab it. But Sam grabbed a bunch of stuff. She got like some really cool, like vintage Ben Cooper ghost poncho, which I thought was the coolest thing she picked up. And she picked up some vinyl and some other little Halloween stuff. The prices on some stuff was crazy though. There was one guy like trying to sell a Blockbuster exclusive VHS Halloween for $300. And I was like, I've never seen this before, so maybe it's extremely rare. But then I went on eBay and I saw you could get it for like unsealed for $8 and there were sealed ones going for like $70 to $80. So I was like, holy shit. I was like, thank God for the internet these days. Cause like Sam like and I were walking around and she's like, I really want that. I really want that. And I was like, oh, man, I was like, should we get it? And then so I mean, we could have probably been swindled for $300 had I not looked that up. But yeah, good event. So anyone local to the area, check it out. It's coming up in well, don't check it out in October because come to our, it's just a bunch of Halloween event, of course. But go to the November one. It's in Boxborough, Northeast Comic Con. And I think specifically the collectors one is called Northeast like Collectors Expo or something. So yeah. All right, so I guess let's head into the show, Steve. And it is time to spill a little tea.
Let's do it.
Oh, you want the tea? I'm sorry. We don't serve tea. Nope. Instead, you get a cup of Joe. And now here's Joe with the news.
All righty, thank you so much, Chuck. And here you go, ladies and gentlemen, your cup of Joe for this week. It's been a while. All right, let's start off with some sad news tonight, and that is we have lost the stuntman who played Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. Bob Elmore passed away. Still, a horror legend for sure, playing a Leatherface character, stuntman or not. He did a lot of other stunt work throughout his career, Monster Squad, Dr. Giggles, Pirates of the Caribbean, amongst many, many other things. Either of you guys ever had the chance to meet Bob Elmore? I know he did a lot of cons.
No, unfortunately not.
Yeah. I saw him at cons here and there, but I never grabbed him. But yeah, sad one there. Anytime an iconic character like that passes away, I always want to mention it. So that is stuntman Bob Elmore for Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Rest in peace, sir. Next bit of news here is I would say head scratching, because I really thought this was going to do well. The head scratching of what happened with Megan 2. Let's discuss it, folks. Megan 2, I think we all sort of thought it was going to be like a massive, massive hit. With all of sort of the marketing that was going on with it, just sort of Steve mentioning that at like Halloween Horror Nights, that like it was like the massive crowds that were gathering around her. Well, it fucking bombed this week in the box office, folks, only raking in about $10 million. The original debuted at 30 million, went on to make 180 million worldwide. On just a $12 million budget, whereas this one, obviously the budget was ramped up to almost $30 million, and now it's going to be probably very lucky. And you got to think with all that advertising money, they spent a lot of money on advertising, because I saw this Megan 2 stuff absolutely everywhere, and at this point it'll probably be lucky to make its budget back. So I gotta ask, gentlemen, what happened here?
I think it's twofold. Number one, they underestimated like people like horror films. You know, if you switch a genre for a film, this seems to be more action thriller. It's going to throw some people off, and I think some people kind of felt a certain way about that, so they weren't as interested in seeing it. But the bigger one, in my opinion, and really where they fucked up, is Jesus Christ, this is like the worst time of the year for a movie like this to come out. I mean, you are putting it up
Mm,
against F1, Jurassic Park, Superman, Fantastic Four. This is not the fucking time to put out like a horror movie, you know, even if it's not horror, but like a movie
fair.
like this. They need to put out this out in like February, March, maybe October, November. This is not the time. Like this is blockbuster season. It's just I think that's their biggest mistake. They overestimated just how popular this was. It's popular. It's just not that level popular, in my opinion. So I think those were the two mistakes they made here.
Yeah, plus all the kids are on vacation right now, man. Like a lot of kids go traveling right now with their families, and this is geared toward them,
Yeah.
right?
I
Are
don't know,
you
man. My theater was packed when I went like to see 28 Years Later, and it was full of
That was
kids.
mine.
They just were
uh
Sold
watching
out.
Megan.
I
So,
guess I'm fucking
Yeah.
wrong.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the popcorn bucket was cool.
Yeah,
It was
Surprisingly.
very cool.
But
Now I don't know if I'll buy it.
I think too, like the first one was kind of like, oh, this might be a cool new age kind of Chucky, and then we saw the movie and we were all like lukewarm on it, but lukewarm
Yeah.
isn't, going running out to the theaters to see it again. Lukewarm is, I'll wait for streaming, which I think a ton of people are gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like, do you think you think that it sounds like I think just the studio thought she was the new horror icon basically, and we have now the horror world has now rejected Megan. Unfortunately, I mean, I think they had like a whole sort of Megan universe in the works here, and man, now it just seems like we may never see another Megan film again unless it absolutely destroys when it hits home. But yeah, I don't know. So this could be the end for Megan, folks. So if you want to pay your last respects, possibly go out and check out Megan too. All right, let's go with the next bit of news here. Some big Stephen King universe news has emerged. As it has been announced, we are going to be finally getting a Stand movie. And I know you're saying, well, we've already gotten a Stand movie. That doesn't count. That was a made for TV movie. We also got the TV series, but now we are getting an actual theater release version of The Stand. I know you all loved the Mick Garris made for TV movie of the 90s, very, very popular. I didn't even bother to watch the TV series. I don't know if any of you did was it Amber Heard, I
I
think,
did. Yeah.
made an appearance in that. Amber Turd, as some lovingly to call her. Um, but yeah, so this one will be headed by Doug Liman. Will be taking the directing role of this. He did Born Identity, Edge of Tomorrow, and Roadhouse as well. The project does not yet have a script. However, development at the time, they are saying they are running through the full novel. They're planning on taking it into just a single movie. Do you think that's a good idea? Like such a huge book. I mean, this is King's biggest book ever, correct? If I'm not mistaken. Should this have been a two-parter? Like we always say, do you need to make movies two-parters? But I feel like for a movie like this, perhaps putting it into a two-parter rather than just a 2.5 hour movie might be the right idea.
That's my thing with it. It needed 4 parts to do the TV series in the 90s. It did an entire season and didn't even cover the whole thing. So yeah, I think it's a bad idea to put it out as one movie. I just don't see how they make all the elements come together in a way that makes sense for this. It's kind of, but they did the same with the Dark Tower and it had the same problem. It's too big of a thing to do into a movie. So I'm curious to see what they do with it, but I don't think it's the right avenue. And trust me, I am fucking the person who hates TV. Like I'm tired of TV shows because there's so many of them. But this one I think is deserving more of a better TV show because I didn't love the recent one. Honestly, it was so fucking weird. It was like time jumping all over the place, and it was so
Hmm.
confusing. So yeah,
Yeah, what are they gonna do
All
with my
right.
boy, the Trash Can Man? We gotta have some respect for him.
they'll
Yeah,
probably
but it
cut him
looks like,
out
oh well, they have
from
to
the
cut out
movie.
everything because there's like what,
That's what I'm
1,200
saying.
page book.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, man. Speaking of Steve King, though, The Long Walk, dude, I'm into that. Like, I just saw that trailer again for 28 Years Later,
I'm
and like,
excited.
I'm
Yeah,
like, I got to
same.
reread this book, so I'm excited for that one.
Hmm.
It's good.
Yeah. Is it horror?
Thriller, close enough.
Thriller? Okay. I just don't know if it's worth a consideration for a horror list for the year
Coverage.
ender.
Oh, I was gonna say coverage, no. Horror list.
Yeah. I also
Mm.
saw, can we just say like what? Man, like we sat down at the movies at 8 and 28 years later didn't start till 8:35. Like literally 35 minutes of trailers and
Commercials, dude.
previews. It's a bit outrageous, man. Outrageous.
Apparently, some
I
theaters
do
are warning you now. Like they're actually putting it out
yeah, I
in
heard
the ad
that.
that they're
Yeah.
saying like the movie will actually start 30 minutes later. At least, so mine, kudos,
Mhm.
at least was all trailers. There's zero commercials, which I was super happy about.
Mhm.
But it's half an hour of trailers is a long fucking time.
I don't know about you guys, but well, I guess for Joe, does your theater have a commercial where like skip the line and order popcorn through your phone? I'm like, bitch, we don't
Yeah,
need people
yeah.
on their phones in the theater. What are we doing? And then they say,
Right.
respect other people. Don't have your phone on. I'm like, which message is it? Like, ugh.
Annoying. I will say I got a new trailer for I Know What You Did Last Summer, and it looks just as shitty as the first trailer did. So that's great. What else I get? Weapons, which looks awesome. That might be my new most anticipated of the year, I would say right now. But we'll see. A lot of great. I can't remember what else I got, but there were some other great ones. Honestly, like the back half of this year for horror is looking great. Although, the first half of the year has not been great, but hopefully the back half of this year can make up for it. All right, next bit of news here is this one's a little exciting. A sequel for When Evil Lurks is in development. I think it made all three of our top tens, did it? From a couple years ago. When Evil Lurks, man, go and check it out if you haven't yet. It's a foreign film that came out just a couple years ago. But the filmmakers did say that part two has been written and that they are just waiting for funding to come through. We have to make some script modifications to make it perfect, but the studio definitely wants to make it. So, yeah, it's happening, folks. When Evil Lurks might take a little time, but will definitely be seeing a sequel down the road, and we will keep you guys up to date when it happens. All right, let's get into some 28 years later universe news. As 28 years later, the Bone Temple has, of course, it was sort of being teased out there, but it has officially been confirmed that it will be coming out in just a short about 28 weeks from now, ladies and gentlemen, January 16th, 2026. It's already wrapped production. They already filmed it. I don't know if they filmed this back to back, I would assume. With 28 years later, Nia DaCosta will be directing this one, who did the Candyman remake. You will know her best from that. And yeah, no other real information is out there as far as like casting and stuff. I don't know. I feel like is Ray Fiennes gonna be in this
I mean, he
one?
has to, right? Like just
Yeah,
based off the title
right. Based on the
and
title, you
the
would
kid as
think.
well, and you know who at the end. So,
Mhm. Yes,
right?
we will get into it in our review, but I had some issues with that Bone Temple. I don't know. It's as an architects, maybe we get an architect on the show. Talk to me about the logistics of that Bone Temple and if it
Joe,
would
he
hold.
said the structure was solid. Trust him.
Okay.
I
Just
mean,
the
All
bone's
right.
fault.
Jizz acts as a glue, and he's
Jizzing
been
all
there
over the
alone for
skulls.
30 years. So I'm just saying,
Dude, we need to get through this episode so we can talk about this because this movie is burning a hole in my fucking brain right now.
Alrighty. Next bit of news here is Todd. I know you think you already picked up your tickets for this one. Evil Dead in concert, folks. It is happening. Coming to 50 cities this fall. They will be playing Evil Dead with a live orchestra. Pretty dang awesome. They will be playing the entire movie as you watch it live in front of you. You can head to just search Evil Dead in concert and you will find the website. But yeah, it will be running from September 22nd all the way through November 21st, coming most likely to a city near you if you live in the States. You got your tickets, Todd?
I did not.
Oh, all right.
No one
Well,
wants to go with me. So
fine. Are you
I'm
gonna
not,
go?
I'm not going.
Gonna
No,
bring? You're not gonna go? You know, come on. You're the biggest Evil Dead
no,
fan.
the
Why?
homies don't
Why?
want to go. My wife doesn't want to go. So I'm like, fuck it.
What?
We'll do it
Why,
live.
why would the homies not want to
They
go?
just don't want to. You ask them. I don't know. They're fucking mean. No,
Unbelievable.
we're going to see Day of the Dead in
Fake fans.
theaters. Yeah, we're going to see Day of the
Nice.
Dead in theaters tomorrow. Or yeah, tomorrow as of this recording. 40th anniversary on the big screen. That's gonna be fun as hell.
That would be cool.
Mhm.
That would be cool as well. Well, for those of you that want to check it out, I know actually I think some of our friends in the Discord, for sure, our listeners are going to be going to that. I think we're going to go. It's on a work night though, but I'm going to try to make it happen and get out to that. All right, a little bit of Jason Universe news here. They're trying to make things happen in this Jason Universe, folks. Jason will be coming to Halloween Horror Nights this year, as it has been announced. So that should be pretty cool. Also, NECA has teamed up with this Jason Universe as well. They'll be producing new Jason Voorhees toys. And finally, they've announced a Jason Voorhees short film, which the fans were extremely excited about. And then we found out it is a glorified ad for some hard cider company. I can't remember who's like the biggest hard cider company. I
Is it
can't
like
even.
Orchard, Old Orchard, or something?
Or yeah, Angry Orchard,
yeah,
Angry
something like that,
Orchard. I
yeah.
think it is. Yeah. So, boys, what's happened to our boy Jason here? Is this Jason Universe just basically a huge money grab?
Dude, this is literally worst case scenario. It's like they took the Jason rights and basically just making a fucking billboard to sell other products. It is fucking horrible what they're doing with this. God damn, like, yeah, they need, like, first they show Jason first. Like, just here's a picture of what Jason's gonna look like. It looks like a skinnier Jason, you know? And then this is what they're doing. Oh man, I'm not feeling good about all this, so we'll see, I guess. But yeah, it's a weird thing.
Todd, I need to hear your thoughts. You're such a huge Jason Voorhees fan.
I don't know where Jason went wrong, fellas. It's it's pretty simple. He just doesn't like premarital sex, He wants people away from his lake, and now we're just killing my boy. And I'm
Now
upset
we
about
got him in Angry Orchard commercials.
And we got him in beer, selling beer. And the last thing he would support is alcohol, right? Because kids are drinking alcohol, they're screwing around. Jason's not drinking alcohol. He's not screwing around. He's living in the woods. He's eating deer. He's taking shits in holes, filling them up, and then killing people. It's very simple. Like, I don't know. We'll see.
You think he
Yeah,
takes shits in
I mean-
holes?
I guarantee he shits in,
Oh no,
in a
he's
hole. And,
he
like,
shits his pants, man. There's no way
No,
he like
no,
takes
no.
time to dig a hole
He's
and
a
fucking
zombie.
squat in
he
it.
shits his pants and he does the back feet shuffle that dogs do.
Yeah, that maybe, but he's not fucking digging no holes.
Ugh. Dude, speaking of holes,
Well-
man, this rabbit got ran over in front of my house. So I buried it, and then I was
That's
mowing
nice
the
of you.
lawn. Yeah, well, I just feel bad. They didn't do anything wrong. But a few days later, I
How
was
do you
mowing the
know?
lawn. Well, what do you think the fucking rabbit did? He banged
He
your
could
mom.
have
Like,
fucking. He might have found like a.
crack pipe.
He might have found a nest of some baby birds and ate them or ripped them.
Do
Who
rabbits
knows? He
eat-
could have been
eat meat?
he could have been a piece of shit. We don't know.
All right. Well, either way, this
Might have-
rabbit was killed, and I buried
That
him.
was
and
nice
I
of you,
mowed the
though, sir.
lawn. Oh my God! And then I mowed the lawn. And then his body was fucking dug up and eaten again. And I was like, holy shit.
Oh no!
And I had to rebury him. It was disgusting because it was just covered in maggots and stuff. I'm like, oh man. The first time I did, I was all gentle
Wow.
and like, fuck
Trigger
this.
warning.
Yeah, sorry people, but circle of life, I guess. But yeah, some critter
It is.
ate him. So I don't know. Raccoon, we thinking? Fox? I don't know.
Do you have coyotes in
Yeah.
the area?
We do. Yeah, we get coyote spotted. That's probably a coyote.
Yeah, that's what we probably did get
Yeah.
here.
About to shoot one.
Could
of
have
those
been the
fuckers, too.
mailman.
Could have
Think
been. Yeah.
The mailman.
Could have been the
Okay.
mailman thirsting for blood. Yeah, for
He's,
sure.
he's pissed that I secretly recorded him and put him in my movie he doesn't know about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, that's a gnarly story.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
it came with good
I'll
intentions.
do. It did. Yes. The road to hell is also paved with good intentions.
Oh,
so.
well, you know what? I didn't know this rabbit was going to be such a tricky subject today.
Well, R.I.P. Mr. Rabbit. Hopefully you've moved on to a better place. Peter, I like to call him personally, Peter Rabbit. So, R.I.P. sir. All right,
He
I'll
did
do
have
one
a
more
little
story
vest
tonight.
on, so I was like, "What is this?"
He did? Oh,
Yeah.
wow, interesting. Interesting. All right. I'll do one more tonight. I do have more. I'll save for next week, though. Robert Eggers is going to be directing his own take on A Christmas Carol. So, and it was reported, of course, he will be coming out with his own werewolf movie. While in addition to that, he will be also be taking on the classic Charles Dickens novel of A Christmas Carol. He will. It has been announced as well that Willem Dafoe has signed on to play Ebenezer Scrooge. Well, not officially signed on, but he is being eyed to play Ebenezer Scrooge in this, Charles Dickens play novel. So yeah, I mean, I think this man. I mean, how many iterations of A Christmas Carol do we fucking need? However, if anyone in the horror realm is going to take it, I mean, I feel like Eggers is the absolute perfect choice for this. Obviously, Todd's just laughing about Peter Rabbit over there. I hear.
No, I'm
Um,
laughing. I'm laughing about Ebenezer Scrooge is definitely going to be jerking off in this movie because Robert Eggers
It's
had
funny.
Willem Dafoe jerk off on the lighthouse, right? So,
are we gonna get
I was just
Scrooge
thinking
Dong?
about yeah, like who's gonna drop Dong in this? He's got fucking
There's
competition
gonna be a
now.
lot of
That
Dong talk
28
tonight too.
yeah.
oh, we're getting
Oh
dongs out
man,
of our system today,
that
guys.
that Dong should fucking get its own credit. So like, yeah, let's
Gosh,
talk about
damn.
that.
My man walking around with the heat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited, and I'm not gonna lie. After Nosferatu, I mean, obviously he proved that his cinematography is just breathtaking, and taking on a story like A Christmas Carol and maybe making it dark. I know who was TNT did like a dark uh Christmas Carol a couple of years ago in miniseries format. I've yet to see it, but I heard it was pretty good. So, I mean, Christmas Carol has a lot of very dark elements, and if we go like a sort of dark route with a Christmas Carol, it could be extremely interesting. So we'll see. Any thoughts, gentlemen, before we move on?
I feel the same way. Like I don't think we
All
need
right.
another Christmas Carol, but Eggers is probably the only one that I'd be like, okay, that could be interesting. So looking forward to it.
All right. Excellent. Alrighty. Well, that is going to be it for horror news. Don't forget, if you want to send in your horror news, you can post it in the Discord, send me a DM, whatever you like. In 2 short weeks, I will tease some news I have. I have Terrifier 4 news, Scream 7 news, and Stream news. So it's a little tease, folks. 2 more weeks, you'll have a little bit of news about all those franchises.
You won't be here in 2 weeks, so maybe do it next week.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I don't want to
That's
tease
right.
them
I'm
for
going
like
on
3 weeks.
I'm going on vacation.
There you go.
All right. Well, maybe we'll do a mini segment next week, and I'll give you those stories next week. And that is it for horror news this week. So why don't we head into our next segment, gentlemen, and tell me what you've been watching this week.
All right, this begins my family goes on vacation while I stay at home and watch the animals, slash, I get to watch my stack of Blu-rays that I haven't watched since purchasing them. So number one was a VHS, actually, Amityville 2, The Possession from 1982. Yeah, this is a plug and play from Amityville 1. Basically, you have a family moving into the house. It's fucking haunted, bros. You didn't check the disclosures, whatever. I don't know if they did that back in 82, but check the disclosures, dude. But instead of the father going crazy, this time it's the older son. And man, this movie is very strange, dude, because even before the brother starts getting possessed by the entity, there's a weird little love triangle with his own sister, bro. And it's very strange. It's like, is that his girlfriend? Did I miss like an introduction? But like, no, that's his younger sister. I'm like, all right, well, I guess they're close. And then he gets possessed, and then he bangs her, dude. And it's like, what are we like? What's happening in this movie? Um, yeah, he goes crazy. There's a priest and all that shit. It's basically the part one with incest, and it's pretty dirty, man. Some effective scares in it. The house is cool, like always, but nothing like too crazy. I think I'm gonna stop here at the Amityville series because I don't love part one, and part two was, a 3 out of 5 for me, so I don't really need to watch 30 more of them. So Amityville 2 on tape, and that's a 3 out of 5. But man, that incestuous relationship really caught me off guard.
Yeah, it's a weird one for sure. That's almost that film's legacy. It's that fucking incestuous relationship in there. All right, so I'm gonna do two on this one because they're from the same series and they kind of meld together. And one of them was actually done on the movie club, which we just had this past Friday, which was a lot of fun. We had a lot of people there. Yeah, and we did a double feature. I'll talk about the other one later. So this was Sharktopus versus Whale Wolf is the one we watched. And I also watched on the side Sharktopus versus Terracuda, which I've been plugging as the one as being on the movie club, and someone corrected me and said that's not the one we voted for. So sorry about that. So I ended up watching both. Sharktopus versus Terracuda, really quickly. It's just two big creatures fighting each other. Ton of fucking fun. A lot of kills. They're so random and so fucking funny. Like at one point, Sharktopus is just like swimming away, and there's a guy just minding his own fucking business, like walking by, and Sharktopus just like throws out a tentacle and fucking pins him to the wall and kills him. It's hilarious. It has one of my favorite cameos, maybe ever, in a horror film by Conan O'Brien. I won't say what happens. It's a very short scene. It's like maybe 2, 3 minutes long, but I laughed out loud. It was so fucking funny. So I'd watch it honestly just for that cameo. So that was Sharktopus vs. Terracuda, which I gave 3 out of 5 stars. And the one that we watched over on the movie club was Sharktopus vs. Whale Wolf, and that one not as good, unfortunately, as the other two films in the series. This time he fights the goofiest looking fucking wolf fish thing that the whale wolf. It just looks ridiculous. The face looks like a cartoon character. The kills weren't all that memorable. It gets weird and boring in the middle, but we still had a great time watching it because it is such a ridiculous premise. The Sharktopus still looks cool. He's cool in all three movies that he's in, and yeah, if you like bad shark movies, this series is one to watch. I think my favorite one is probably Sharktopus vs. Terracuda, although Sharktopus, the first one, is a close one as well. So yeah, that's I gave it 1.5 stars for Whale Wolf, and yeah, check them out. They're all on Tubi.
Alrighty. My first one tonight is one I should have talked about last week for our interview with Lin Shaye, but I was not on. Hopefully, some of you guys checked out House of Abraham. Actually, I don't know if it's even playing VOD yet. I think it still might be a theater release as of right now. So I'll let you know if it's worth it once it does hit VOD, if it hasn't already. House of Abraham stars Natasha Henstridge, Lin Shaye, and Lucas Hassel. Of course, Natasha from the Species franchise, Lin from everything. You heard the interview. Yeah, man. So this one is about Natasha Henstridge is basically our main character in this film. Basically, and she's a woman that has cancer, and she's looking basically to end her suffering. So she finds on the dark webs a place where you can go to end your life, essentially. Assisted suicide, sort of a Dr. Kevorkian type place called the House of Abraham, where this gentleman, Abraham, will help you end your life. Lin Shaye plays Abraham's assistant in this house. And yeah, so it's sort of like culty type movie where a group of people looking to end their life, 5 or 6 of them, I think, enter this house over the weekend. And Abraham basically makes sure that they are wanting to end their life and sort of does sort of tests and whatnot throughout the weekend to sort of assist them. He's very calm, very calming presence, very loving presence. And then we find out there are more. You can check in, but you cannot check out if you change your mind, essentially. I guess overall, I enjoyed this one. It's pretty fun. I'm always a sucker for any type of cult type movies. And this one was pretty decent. I gotta say, Lucas Hassel, who plays Abraham, absolutely steals the show in this one. Anytime he is on screen, which is a good amount of it, he steals the scene. He is just fantastic in this as Abraham. Definitely carries the movie. Lin Shaye is great as his assistant. Natasha's good as the lead. At the end of the day, though, it's just I found it to be nothing like groundbreaking. Like we've seen this type of movie and it plays out exactly pretty much how you would expect it. But it is still a pretty enjoyable watch. I was like on the fence when I got out of it, like between a 3 and a 3.5. But after reflection, I'm pretty set on a 3 out of 5. It is definitely a solid one-time watch, but I don't think it's anything extremely memorable, but it's definitely worth a watch. So I'd check it out. So that is House of Abraham for this year. It should be streaming very, very soon if it isn't already.
Very cool. What if I told you Hector Salamanca was in a horror film from 1990?
Ooh.
Which film would you guess? You guessed right. Tales from the Dark Side, the movie.
Oh,
Watched this one on a tape. I'm like, oh, that's Hector Salamanca. He's in one of the segments, dude. I love seeing these, movies from the 90s and stuff where you're like, holy shit, like this guy's in here. This movie has Julianne Moore, Steve Buscemi, Christian Slater, and it's just like a loaded cast, man. And the wraparound is this lady has this young boy captive, and she's gonna eat him, and she gave him a book of fairy tales to read, and he's like, wait, like he's trying to delay his death. He's like, let me tell you about one of my favorite stories I read. And he goes through the stories, right? And that's the next movie. And then it gets closer and closer to his death, and he keeps talking about more and more stories. So I had a lot of fun with it. It was really cool seeing all the actors. The gore was really cool, from a dragon character to a cat trying to be killed by a hitman. It sounds silly, but it was really fun. um, Plus George wrote a lot of these too, Romero, so that was really a real treat. So Tales from the Dark Side, watched it on tape. Not sure of streaming, but if you see it, you should watch it.
I think my favorite part of that is that of all those actors, it's Hector Salamanca you were excited about. So that's
Yeah, well, I mean, ding.
yeah, that's awesome. All right, so my last one was a mystery movie that I had put on to the movie club. I'd asked people, "Hey, do you want a mystery movie picked by me?" And people voted for that. Big fucking mistake because I'm going to pick something weird, and that was 1996's Killer Tongue, aka Tongue Girl. So I'm just going to read the synopsis because this movie's wild. A bank robber seeks refuge in a desert gas station run by nuns, awaiting her boyfriend's release. An alien meteorite transforms her into a flesh-craving monster with a monstrous tongue, while her poodles become drag queens. So, yeah, I saw this. I'm like, dude, I have to pick this movie. It stars Linda Clark, who's the girl with the tongue, of course, famous for Return of the Living Dead Part 3, Robert Englund with a killer wig, and Doug Bradley, also with a killer wig. This movie's fucking wild, man. This girl, like, she has this crazy tongue that comes out, and the tongue starts talking to her like Elmer does in Brain Damage. And the tongue is absolutely fucking hilarious. There are some really cool kills in it. Super random that her poodles become these drag queens that kind of follow her around throughout the story. Robert Englund's side story with Doug Bradley is so weird and random. He's like a drill sergeant to this like military crew, and I don't know, it's just such an odd fucking relationship that they have between him and his crew. This movie is just like fucking all over the place, to be honest with you. Unfortunately, when it's not like really crazy, and especially the tongue, because the tongue steals the show here, it is a little boring, and there's these long, kind of drawn out parts where nothing is really happening. So I can't say I really loved it, but it was fun to watch with a group because it was so kind of out there and crazy. And the editing, whoever edited this was probably high because it's like, God, they jump cut here and there, like all over the place, all these side stories. It's fucking wild. So that's a Killer Tongue that you can watch, of course, over on Tubi, and I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars.
I'm still gonna watch it for sure.
Yeah.
It's on my list.
Just to see the fucking wigs on Robert
I'm
Englund and Doug
excited.
Bradley.
Yes. All right, my final one tonight is, I believe, one Steve and Todd both watched last week based on my recommendation, and that is Found Footage, the making of the Patterson Project. This one was sent to us from the studio. They sent us a screener, so thank you for that. And thank you very much for it, because, with these screeners, you never know what you're going to get going in. And I got to say, I love this one, man. Like, this one was such a pleasant treat. It is about basically a group of indie filmmakers that are setting out to make their new horror movie. There's a documentary film crew following them around about, filming about, what indie filmmakers go through. And it's just so fun, man. The blend of comedy and horror in this is fantastic. I think the comedy is executed better than the horror. But the comedy in it hits so damn well, and then it like goes off the rails into this crazy horror thing at the end, which kind of comes out of nowhere in some ways. But it just added to the fun. This movie is just pure and utter fun, like throughout. Great casting. And the jokes land so well. And with indie movies, like it is so hard for that type of stuff. But man, kudos to the writers. It is just so good. And I just cannot recommend this one enough. This is one that is definitely going to fly under most people's radars this year. Because it didn't get a major release or anything like that. But man, I mean, it's in my top 10 currently. I liked it that much. I just had so much fun watching it. So I highly recommend it. I give it a 4 out of 5. I had a blast with it. So definitely check it out. That's found footage, the making of the Patterson Project.
I did too.
Yeah, just really quickly
Nice.
before we move on, Joe, what was your score on The Devil's Rejects?
The Devil's Rejects, sure, yeah. I did rewatch it, for the podcast, even though I didn't make it on. And man, I think it still holds up. I give it a 4 out of 5, for sure. I think I go back and forth. Is it Zombie's best movie? It might be, honestly. I think it very well could be. I think this and Corpses, but this is a little more polished than Corpses, but I think this one's a little overindulgent, at times, for sure. Yeah, it's a shame that it should have ended here. There was no, it was a perfect ending, right? And just, I know Three from Hell came way later, but it just never even should have been made. But yeah, man, I really have not many complaints about the movie. I think it was obviously a very, true zombie movie, but he set out, and he did a great job. Yeah, I had times though, like with overindulgence, like the whole, like, the William Forsythe character at times is just a little too over the top, and gets a little crazy. But I love William Forsythe as an actor as well, so I'll watch him in pretty much anything. But yeah, man, I dig it. So yeah, 4 out of 5. What'd you guys think of it? Just I know you guys talked about last week, but
You would have been the defender for sure.
I would have been the defender. Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, it didn't it
You guys
not to
didn't hate
rehash
you
the
guys
entire
as
thing,
good this
but
time.
no,
Yeah.
it doesn't hold up to me. Yeah.
Same thing
No?
with me.
All
I
right.
actually dropped it a whole point from my
Wow.
previous review to 3.5 as opposed to
I
4.5.
think I gave it a 3 or 3.5,
Wow.
something like that.
Yeah.
Dang, I'm shocked.
Yeah.
No, man, it's just so raw. Like it held up well. Like that, I mean, did he knock off From Dusk Till Dawn sort of with that sort of hotel scene? Kinda. Like I was thinking that this time watching it, but that scene is still brutal though. Like to this day, it's still
You just
uncomfortable
like Sherry
to
Moon
watch.
Zombie, dude. Her
And
song.
she's a hottie in this. She's definitely a hottie in this one for sure. But man, Spalding is great in this too. Like it's just interesting too, like how he completely changes the characters, sort of too, like from
That's one of our
Corpses to
problems.
from this one. Yeah, it is a weird choice, but to me it kind of worked. Like I don't know.
All right, scrap it. We're doing Devil's
All right.
Rejects Part 2 review right now.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. Well, thank you so much. And now it is time to bust out the books. We didn't have it last week, thanks to me. So is this the final round
Yep.
of trivia?
Final round for the
Wow.
quarter.
For the final round of trivia, Todd, can anyone make a comeback? Let's hear it.
Steve trailing by 2, 22-20. Joe, you're out of it, bud. 40.
All
I mean, not
right.
40. 14.
I was like, what?
I was saying we were performing much better than quarter one, which was the first place guy got 14 in Q1, which is Steve, and then right now I'm at 22 and 20
Wait,
neck to neck.
Didn't Joe win Q1? I watched the
Sorry,
whole
six.
fucking...
Sorry,
Yeah.
6. You know what? Just
Yeah.
I'm out of it. I'm not gonna do well tonight in trivia. No. Joe had 16, but that's
Okay.
still a lot better than 22. So
Sure.
that didn't even make sense. My statement right now. That's not better.
It's fine.
22 is better than 16.
Get your shit together.
All right. I'm gonna lead off. So I'm fucking Feeling it right now. All right, quarter number 2, question number 1. That statement doesn't make sense either.
What?
I'm just gonna say the question. I'm just gonna be quiet. All right. This 2023 film features young siblings waking up in a house with their dad, but the windows, doors, and other objects are missing. This
Can you
2020,
repeat
this
that? Yes.
2023 film features young siblings waking up in a house with their father. The windows, doors, and other objects are missing.
Skinamarink?
Correct. Skinamarink.
Nice.
Fuck that movie.
That
I
guy
don't
just
even
got
want to.
That guy just got a deal, dude, to make another movie.
Yeah. I don't
Dude,
know what he's
I
making,
can
but-
see why, man. Like it was ambitious
Good for
and
him.
it, like for yeah, I
hell
think
yeah.
he
Good
could
for
go
him.
on to make some. I think he could go on to make some good stuff, honestly.
Yeah.
So
We'll see.
We'll see.
Good for him, though.
there were some flashes. There were some flashes of really good stuff in there. I gotta say, as much as I don't think any of us liked the movie, there was some interesting stuff in there. Okay, first one I'll go. In my movie, I'm all zombie or zombie
Robbie
related.
Zombie?
Not Rob Zombie. I did have Rob Zombie questions for last week that I will not be using, but down the road I will. But this week, all zombie or virus related movies
Oh,
in honor of 28 years. So in Pet Cemetery,
yes.
as Judd and Lewis climb to the burial ground to bury Church, Judd explains to Lewis that the ground belonged to this Indian tribe.
Apache?
It is this burial ground is the
Oh,
name,
okay.
of course.
Indian burial ground?
Yes.
Is that just what they call
No,
it?
there's an actual name for
Oh.
it. The blank blank burial ground.
Oh, so like the Apache Indian Burial Ground.
Yes.
So
exactly.
Steve already guessed Apache. The Sequoia Indians
No.
Burial Ground. Okay.
Is there a hint or?
Is it a real tribe?
No.
it's
I
not a tribe.
do not know. It is mentioned a few times throughout the movie though.
Okay.
Is it like common words or is it like a like
No,
a name?
no.
Okay.
No, you
I
guys
have
probably won't
no-
get
I have
this.
no
then.
idea.
Pachawan.
Incorrect.
That's
It is
trying to
the
make sounds.
Micmac burial ground.
That doesn't sound like anything like a tribe.
Okay.
Hey, there's the
That's the
Apaches.
tribe.
There's the fucking whatever. Oh, there's the Micmacs. What?
The Micmacs, yes.
0 cents. Fuck you,
All
Stephen
right.
King.
Someone out there got it.
Yeah.
It's
So
not you.
Someone's like, oh,
all
it's
right.
big.
Guess the movie by the IMDb parental guide.
Oh, we'll try.
Sex and nudity. Absolutely no nudity.
Oh.
Safe to watch in this regard.
Definitely not our film.
No, that's for sure. Violence and gore. A child is implied to have stabbed their eye out. Some blood is seen splattered on a window, but the injury is never seen.
Wow.
Profanity.
That's not good.
No profanity in the slightest. Alcohol, drugs, and smoking. None.
This guy's a little
Wow.
straight edge.
Because of that, I'll give a little bit more of the frightening and intense scenes. I'll give you 2.
Okay.
A young girl's face is shown on screen without a mouth, and it is a very disturbing image. And finally, at the end of the film, we see many pictures of headless and deformed people. It can be very disturbing to some.
What is Skinamarink?
Correct.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought when you said the eye thing, I'm like, hey, it's when his dad tells him to shove the thing in his eye.
It's funny because I was looking at the IMDb. So that my theme this week is Canadian films because it's Canada Day tomorrow. And I was looking at the IMDb, and all the intense and the scene is this crazy fucking thing followed by, but is not seen on screen. I'm like,
you
this guy
intend
made
to
the
ask
best
that
movie
question?
ever, but none of it's in the fucking movie.
Did you intend to ask that before asking her?
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
When
wow.
you said it, I'm like,
Wow.
fucker.
Skinamarink themed. Interesting.
All right, back to me. A
Mhm.
movie we all watched. What is Mr. Reed, who's the main character, the bad guy? What is Mr. Reed's true religion in the 2024 film Heretic?
Oh, is he agnostic?
Negative.
Hmm.
No, he claims that this is the true religion.
Ah, yes.
Okay, I'll just say one more after.
Free will.
Incorrect.
I'll go Anglican.
Incorrect. See if you're way off, Joe. You're closer.
Yeah.
I'll give you each one more.
Hmm.
Your thought process is closer to the actual answer.
Yeah. It's like because the choice
Because
choices you make.
he's a fucking piece of shit, full of shit guy.
No, come on. He made some
I mean,
valid points
oh,
throughout.
I know, but he captured 2 women and
Well,
then
yeah,
had
I
one in his
know.
basement tortured. Well, he
Yeah,
had more
many
than one. He had
women in
like
the
10.
basement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spoilers, sorry.
Sorry about that.
I got
Going
nothing.
once,
Freemason?
going
I
twice.
have no idea.
It's control. Is a
Okay.
true religion.
Control.
Control.
Yes. Yep. That's right.
Mhm.
Yes. Parliament Control
Sure.
song. All right. Guess the movie based on the IMDb information.
Right.
This movie was released in the year 2002 with an R rating, clocking in at a nice 1 hour and 40 minutes. Categorized as. Now, this could be the very first time I've seen this category. One person army action,
Person army
zombie
action.
horror, action, horror, and sci fi. Currently sitting at a 6.6 out of 10 over at IMDb with a Metascore of a much lower 35 out of 100. Director Paul W.S. Anderson.
Oh,
Resident
it's the
Evil.
Resident Evil Apocalypse.
It is Resident Evil.
I figured.
Yeah.
Todd got it.
Yeah,
I don't
that's all he's
understand the
known
one
for, really.
person. I don't understand the one
'Cause
person.
Alice.
army
Alice,
action.
but she's not alone. She's a whole fucking
Yeah, I
crew with
know.
her.
Oh, before you go, I started adding stuff to IMDb trivia on our movie. I don't know if you guys saw that,
You know?
but go in
Oh,
there and
no.
add your shit.
All
in. It's very
right.
fun.
All right. Guess the movie based off the Letterboxd reviews.
Hmm.
These are not our reviews because although we all rated it, none of us actually reviewed it.
None of us reviewed. So that might mean we didn't like it that much to review. Let's see.
Well, it is what it is.
That's usually what I do.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Crazy that they made this for $4 million. It puts so many other recent zombie flicks to shame simply by going back to basics. Plenty of gore, and the plot lines are actually pretty dark.
Hmm.
This is a real slick and unique angle on the zombie genre. Fresh ideas, good mix of characters, solid effects, strong look and feel. I had fun and was entertained. There's quite a few plot holes, but I'm happy to forgive them because life's too short. And someone uses the guts of a zombie as a rope to jump out of a window. Will always win with that kind of action.
Oh. Fuck. Hashtag alive.
Wrong. Ooh, you have to wait now. This is the third Canadian horror movie I've seen that has someone literally eating a dick in it, and I hate it. I hate it so much. I don't want this to be the big Canadian horror trend. We don't deserve this.
A lot of dicks in Canada, I guess. Let's go.
I got one more, but if you
Oh,
want.
go for it. No. Hold it.
Last one. There's a scene where the main character takes a shit off her bridge onto an oncoming car, and I couldn't think of a better metaphor to describe this film.
Okay, so it's definitely not what I was thinking.
What were you thinking? It won't count.
Night eats the day or something like that.
No, it's not that.
Someone taking a shit on a car and eating a dick would probably tell you what it is, but I have no idea.
And guy jump roping with the zombies' entrails.
Yeah.
I have a guess.
Go for it,
You
Joe.
go now. Yeah.
The sadness?
Wrong.
Sadness.
Good guess,
Good
though.
guess. Yeah.
It's
Well,
not a Canadian film, though.
Did you give us? Did you give us a
Yeah.
year? Or no.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I could. It's in the 2010s.
2010s. Sounds like a wacky film, and I do not know the answer.
We all watched this, obviously.
You all logged it, so.
I logged it.
Oh, I know what it is, but I can't. Oh,
Yeah,
all
you
right,
can
all
go.
right. One more guess.
Yeah,
Yep.
sure.
Night of Something Strange.
Wrong.
Oh, good guess.
Also not a Canadian film, so.
I don't fucking know.
You guys give up?
Yes.
It was 2019's Blood Quantum,
Blood Quantum. Yeah.
which
I
wasn't
don't
even
remember
goofy.
that movie.
All these goofy scenes, but yeah, the movie is like
Someone
fucking
takes a
dark.
shit
What the
off a
fuck was
bridge.
we watched Blood Quantum? I don't remember that at all.
We got it as a screener, I think, and it
We
was
did?
about an
Okay.
indigenous tribe fighting zombies.
They were
Ah,
like immune from
yes.
zombies. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was good, but yes. All right.
Don't
Yep.
remember that.
I only gave it 2.5 actually.
You both
So
gave it
I
two and a
guess
half. Yeah.
I guess I didn't like it that much. All right. Okay. All right. All right. 3 letterbox reviews. Can you guess the movie? This movie is the one that started my obsession for horror. At the time when it came out, I was in high school and had been watching horror for 10 years, but I had seen this movie. I've seen this movie more than any other horror movie. Um, it was in my favorites for years, and it has not changed.
Hmm.
Didn't give you much there. Sorry.
Yeah, nothing.
All
Like
right.
some random person that you didn't name favorite horror movie.
Perhaps one of the most memorable, funniest, gruesome zombie films ever. A film chock full of zombie firsts.
Zombie first. Oh, first sis. Got it.
Yes.
Got it. First sis.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay. And all right, finally. An instant cult classic that won't disappoint. It will tickle your funny bone once it's finished and gnaw on your brains.
Turn of the Living Dead.
Correct.
Okay. Big delay on that one.
Yeah.
Like, am I right? My initial thought was Dead Alive, but then Brains. I'm like, let me shoot it. Let me shoot my shot.
Mhm.
All right, back to
Proud of
me
you.
here. Thank you. Okay, in a
Proud of you,
film
'cause
we
I-
have
I
all
did- that one
seen.
was tough.
That was tough. In a film we have all seen, The Exorcist, 1973. Mom's having a party downstairs, guys. Remember the scene?
Yes.
And then Reagan comes down and she says, "You're going to die up there." What job does
Yes.
this guy
Astronaut.
have? Correct. Astronaut.
I knew before you asked the question. You said the party.
Why?
Probably asking about the astronaut. All right.
Oh, shoot.
I think this is the final question. We've all gone 3 times.
Yes, we have, and I can't wait to reveal my fucking pick.
Yeah. All right.
Oh.
In The Changeling, during the seance, Joseph repeats the same word over and over again through a medium, writing it on a piece of paper. What is that word?
Get out, get out, get out.
Nope. Wrong.
I remember the scene,
Mm-hmm.
but I
Yes,
do
it
not.
did happen.
I do not remember what he says.
It happened. I don't know.
No, you guys give up?
Yeah.
So the word was help,
Help. Oh, dang it. I should have guessed that.
which is basically the whole movie is him trying to help the ghost.
Makes sense.
Mhm.
All right. That concludes it. Q2's in the books. The People's Champion wins 25 to Steve's 21 to Joe's 15, which brings us to, let's see, let's plug in the totals here. Let me run the numbers. Let me get the computer out. Let me get the dictionary out. I don't know why. Oh, first place,
Oh.
Todd, 37. Second place, Steve, 36 or
Ooh.
35. Third place,
Ooh.
Joe, 31.
Yeah.
So it's
So
a
what
tight
is it?
race.
36, 35, 31?
5, 31, yeah.
All right.
Yep. And the film that I have been waiting forever to bring up is one I saw on Tubi, of all places, of course. It has a Corey Feldman in bleached blonde hair on the cover, so I'm like, I gotta pick Corey Feldman bleached blonde hair. To be fair, it's only 90 minutes long. Hell
Okay.
breaks loose on Halloween. 6 individuals are caught up in a supernatural perfect storm as an evil lays claim to one of them while threatening to tear apart the soul of a small Pennsylvania town. The movie, 6 Degrees of Hell. Currently not rated on Letterboxd because only 29
Oh.
people have reviewed it. And Corey Feldman and his bleach blonde hair have fun, guys.
I don't know if I have it, unfortunately.
Oh, no!
Is
I'll
it?
get you a different
Oh no,
one.
I do. Sorry.
I'll watch. I'll watch it.
It's,
I was like,
it's
I'll
six,
watch it.
It's 6 as a 6. So
Okay, cool.
yeah, no, I'm
Have
good.
fun.
Yeah, I'll get right
All
on it.
right. Well, if you want to join in on the punishment, go and check it out, folks. 6 Degrees of Hell, starring Corey Feldman. Anyone else in it, Todd? Or is it just Corey Feldman is the
No,
only
I don't see anyone here.
known
that's,
actor.
Just
Yeah.
only 4 people total are credited in this film.
Oh, all right. Little indie project then. Love it. Alrighty, thank you so much, gentlemen. And now it is time for our main event of the evening, 2025's 28 Years Later. Directed by Danny Boyle and starring Harriet Taylor, Rocco Haynes, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Jodie Comer, and Rafe Fiennes as Dr. Kelson. Plot: a group of survivors of the rage virus live on a small island. When one of the group leaves the island on a mission into the mainland, he discovers secrets, wonders, and horrors that have mutated not only the infected, but other survivors. It's not the best plot synopsis I've ever heard. But know who gives the best plot synopsises? Sir Todd, take us away.
Oh, Sir Todd, love it. All right, we open, man. We have a bunch of kids. They're in like this little room and they're watching Teletubbies. And they're like, what's going on? Mom and whoever are screaming outside. Are the infected coming? Yes, they are. The infected break in, slaughter the kids, slaughter the family. One of the kids makes it out. He runs to the church where I guess it's his real dad, or maybe he's just calling him father because they call him father. Either way. Um, He's like, what are we gonna do? He's like, the infector gets He's like, no, son, this is Judgment Day. Like, I'm here for it, bro. And he gives him his crucifix. The kid hides. The dad dies. Boom, you guessed it. 28 years later, comes up on the screen or whatever, and now we're in this tiny little island community off the coast of Great Britain somewhere, and it's protected, by all sides of water, obviously, with this little bridge that only gets covered during the tide, right? So they can be pretty safe. Aaron Taylor Johnson, he has this young kid, he's 12, and they're gonna go across the mainland, man, because he wants to get his son into like the crew that goes out and scavages and shit like that. He wants to get him his first kills of the infected. They have a mom who we learn is severely mentally ill slash physically ill. She's just bedridden. She has she's confused. She doesn't know what's going on with her son and things like that. They go to the mainland on an adventure. We learn a little bit more lore. We learn that Europe beat back the infection, but they said, Great Britain, you got to fuck off, dude. And they quarantine the whole area. It's quarantined by boats, and no one gets in or out. They don't even airlift them any food, which is fucking stupid. You're not even gonna launch them some supplies, people. What are we doing? But then we follow this young boy. He's trying to learn how to be, I guess, a young man, and his dad doing things that the boy doesn't really like. His mom struggling with being sick, and the boy desperately wants to cure her. And there might be a doctor in the mainland island that can help. Um, yeah, dude, most anticipated for me. I think both of you guys as well. And I gotta say, I was so severely disappointed with this film. We'll get into it later. There's some fucking fantastic things, man. And I think we're all going to be on the same page where that beginning is fucking really cool. Like learning about their little island and the father and son dynamic. I'm like, oh, we're going to have a father and son adventure, learning about each other, growth, adventure in the wasteland. And I felt robbed that we did not get that after about an hour. The film fucking takes a drastic turn and it keeps swirling and turning and right angle turns and jumping around and doing backflips and shit out of nowhere. And you got crazy doctors and you got stupid infected and you got all the fat infected look exactly the same. You got big ass dick infected. You got runner infected. You got goofy shit like babies. I can't wait to get into it. I did not like this movie all that much. Boys, what'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was really obviously looking forward to this, days and weeks. I mean, days amazing, weeks solid. But yeah, I mean, obviously 17 years later or whatever since the last movie, Danny Boyle back to direct. Yeah, man, my expectations were high and I too left pretty disappointed. I mean, to be fair, I definitely don't think it's a terrible movie. I mean, there's definitely moments of greatness here for sure. But ultimately, yeah, man, like once the credits started rolling, I was like, ah, man, it could have been just there were just decisions that were made that I personally just really did not like. I will say that I think this is the weakest intro of the series as well. I didn't think the intro was all that great. It was just very sort of quick and nothing really, fantastic there. And then we get into the actual sort of movie, and I agree, Todd. I thought the stuff with the father and the son was fantastic, and I just wish they stayed on that path or something similar to that path. But instead, they go a completely different route in that second half. And I think it's the worst part of this movie. And it just never recovered for me after that. So, and then on top of the extreme plot holes that I just cannot look past in this movie. And we'll get into them obviously, but yeah, leaving just yeah, very very disappointed. Decent but disappointing.
Yeah, so this was also my most anticipated movie for this year, like Todd. And yeah, I fucking loved it. Like I don't know what you fucking grumps are after. I thought it was so good. Now, is it perfect? No, of course not. But yeah, I love the shit out of it. I think the score is amazing. Like that fucking haunting countdown thing that they fucking do, when they're going around was, I don't know, there's something about it that really gave me the chills. It was filmed on iPhones, which is like this weird thing about this movie. Although if you look at the rig, it's like fucking 40 iPhones on this crazy ass rig. So I don't know. It gave it like a really interesting and different look, which I enjoyed. I thought the infected were really cool. The alpha felt so menacing, like just he's just standing there sometimes like in the distance and his presence was just so intimidating. I like that there's different types of infected. Now the fat ones I'm a little like, okay, that's a little weird, but I was just here. Like I was there for the ride and I was never bored. I was super fucking tired when I saw it, but I was afraid I'd fall asleep. I was so into it that there's no way I would have. Yeah, I enjoyed the shit out of this movie. Really, my only issues with it are the last like 2 minutes I found a little bit weird. Just, I'm sure we'll talk about it, but I have to be cognizant. It's the beginning of a three-part, story basically, and especially if they filmed it back to back, I have a feeling it's because the kid would age too much to make it make sense if they didn't do this back to back. And speaking of the kid, I thought he's fantastic. Like kids, hit and miss sometimes, but he was so good in his role. So yeah, I love this movie a lot.
I am shocked, Steve. Genuinely shocked. I thought you were gonna not like it that much. So you lead it, man. You enjoyed it more than we did.
Well, you guys are the ones that are complaining, so I'm
All
curious
right,
what.
quite problem number one.
Mhm.
I'm just kidding. No, like all the shit beef till the party was really cool. Like they go to the island, they're doing a little thing, they're killing zombies, and then like they see like a mysterious fire, and he's like, "What's that?" And the dad's like, we don't fucking talk about that. Don't ask me again." And then the kid goes back to island, and he's like, some motherfucker is like, "Oh, that's a fucking doctor, dude." And then son's like, "Oh shit, my mom's sick. That guy's a doctor." Puts two and together. Dad, why are you lying to me about everything? And that's when the relationship kind of falls apart because he sees his dad eating out some chick in the fucking cave. Like, come on, bro, what are we doing? Um, while his mom's like dying of some unknown illness. So everything up to that point was fine. But then for me, when he magically escapes the island, which is a theme in 28 Years Universe, these kids can just fucking do whatever the hell they want. It kind of falls apart, man. Like I wanted to love this so much, and things just kept adding up for me to like ruin my enjoyment. The mother is like incapable of taking care of herself, but she can survive in this wasteland fine. When we just saw that the dad and the son and the dad's like a seasoned killer, were struggling, but mom gets there and is magically okay. It was just a lot of plot points that was, I don't know, inexcusable for when you have rules established in this universe, and then just because we want the story to move along, we disregard those. The biggest one of which is being one drop of blood can affect somebody. And sure, this could be a plot point in the next films, but one drop of blood affects somebody. We watch a birth where the infected woman holds hands with our mom. So now suddenly she's not mad at the world anymore, gives birth to this baby, they splash some water on it, and then it's fine. Really? Give me a fucking break. The dad in part one had a fucking drop of blood get in his eye and he was fucking dead in 20 seconds. Steve, you unmuted. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think the baby's immune. I think this is where this is going, where they are going to figure out that there's a way to get like true immunity. I mean, that was kind of what 28 weeks was about. They're trying to find like someone who would be immune so they can have some kind of cure, right? So I have a feeling that that's where they're getting at. So the baby being bored out of the blood would not have affected it. And they did address the no blood, kind of going into your wounds when there's like blood that splashes on the mother's forehead and it's about to go down in the eyes. And the kid's like freaking out and trying to wipe it away. So that particular scene didn't bother me because of that. Now, how it got
Sure.
pregnant and like
Yeah.
kept the
let me stop you right there though. But
Mhm.
sure, and I understand that, and I think that's what's gonna happen.
Mhm.
But if you're gonna establish that in this film, at least have some character question it. Saying like, "Oh, how is this possible? The baby's covered in blood," and it's like, "I don't know. We'll have our elder looking." So anything, a throwaway line could have been that, but no, they accepted it without as fact that this baby is fine. How do they know if the baby bleeds and hasn't special infected blood, it destroys their fucking population? You don't. So it's just like for them to be able to survive for 28 years and then take one giant risk, I just don't buy it. And that's where I was like, come on, what are we doing?
I hated it. I agree with Todd. I hated it. I because of that. Sure, if the baby's immune, we find that down the road. But you have to establish it in this movie, and I can only take it. I can only take it for this movie. I can't look forward to the next two movies. And to have one drop of blood is supposed to get in, and this baby's covered in blood and isn't. Okay, maybe it'll be immune down the road. I don't know, but I can't. I hated that the infected woman is holding hands with this woman giving birth of this sort of human on human thing where this lady's completely lost at that point. Also, is a baby surviving in a infected body? I just don't buy it. Personally, I don't buy that baby would survive. I don't buy. I believe. I am. Wouldn't that baby die once you're turned? Like, how is it? How is it surviving? At that point, it's not getting any nutrients from the mother at that point. The baby's dying inside the stomach, so I don't buy it at all. And I really hated it. That
So
whole sort of moment.
do you guys think the infected woman is Alpha's child,
I think so.
or was it a real woman that got
How?
turned as when she's pregnant?
I don't know if it's Alpha's child, like he's the one who banged her because she would have had to fucking hole the sides of a goddamn like, a log
Are
Maybe
in
they?
they
her
did.
vagina.
Wait, are these infected banging?
I don't
Is
see
that
why
what's
they would
going
be
on now?
banging. The virus literally is rage, like
I
kill
just
anything.
assumed I just assumed she was pregnant before she turned.
I
Yeah,
assume that as well.
she could have been, but he could be like
Yeah.
head of the tribe, so he felt like a connection to the pregnant woman, you know? It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Speaking of alpha guys, I do not like that there's some super fucking infected. I didn't like that in 28 Weeks Later when the dad suddenly was able to survive every fucking bombing possible. But in this one, they literally ramp it up to where they're on steroids, and I know one of the characters said like the rage virus makes them even bigger. But I know I see your point of it being menacing, and I do enjoy it staring off in the distance, being fucking mad. But like, it doesn't match any of the two movies we've seen to this point, and I know it's 30 years later almost, but it's like we have all these rules, and to throw something new in there, where it's like, okay, he's an alpha, he's not bulletproof. And they're like, oh, you could take 5, 6 arrows, then shoot him 5 or 6 times, he's fucking dead. And the fact that they had two opportunities to just slit this fucker's
Hmm.
throat, they knock him out once and like, okay, we'll let him sleep. What? They knock him out twice. All right, let's
Yeah.
leave him. What are you doing? Shut the fuck up, Ralph Fiennes, whatever. You fucking weirdo. Like,
Rafe.
kill, Ray, whatever. Kill his fucking ass. Why are we leaving this? Even he says like, oh, he's a giant threat. Then kill him, you fucking idiot. What have you done for 28 years in your little bone
The
tomahawk
man
area?
Yes, the
Your
man has a
iodine
whole entire
bullshit.
yeah, the man has a whole entire like fire pit fucking thing. Throw the thing in the fire pit.
Dude, kill his ass.
Yeah, they had so many opportunities to kill him. I personally didn't mind the alphas though, overall, because like right, just like with any zombie film, I know like obviously we can go back and forth on whether this is a zombie film, a virus film, whatever. These things evolve, so it makes sense that 28 years later there would be some sort of evolution with these zombie-like characters. So I didn't mind the alpha. I thought he was kind of cool. The absolute best scene in this entire movie is the father and son running to the gate and the alpha
Yeah,
chasing after
that was
them.
cool.
The lighting in that, the whole like Northern Lights thing going on, like everything about that scene was awesome. Loved it. Um, but yeah, man, I didn't mind the alpha, but yeah, like there were so many opportunities to kill that fucking thing,
There was two
and it
of
was
them, right?
just
Two alphas?
absolute plot
I think it were
convenient. Yeah,
two,
because
yeah.
they
Okay.
killed the first one,
Yeah.
I
No,
believe, right
and
at the gates there.
they're carbon
Mhm.
copies of each other, these alphas.
He looked like Jason
Same
Momoa.
same dick, same fucking haircut. Like,
Yeah, huge knee knocker,
gosh,
man.
who's
Good for him. Good for
huge
him.
dong just fucking dangling. How are these people alive? Because they would be dead from the elements. Like England gets cold, you know? So why are
The
the infected alive?
infected?
Yeah, they're all naked, and we don't see them
Yeah,
doing
right.
any. We don't have. They don't have any
Well, I
organization.
mean,
They could go into
if there's
hibernation, I think, like hibernative
Hibernate.
well,
state.
also, I mean, do they are they affected by the elements? Like once you're
They have
infected,
to be. They're
is
still
that
alive because
ever established?
they're just infected with rage. They're not like superhuman.
Yeah, but do they feel anything at that point? Like I don't know. Like
I
they're
don't know.
not human anymore. I don't know. Like I've that's also I guess not well established of like what can kill these things. I guess because they do seem pretty. They just get if they can just you're right. If they can just get killed by arrows, what wouldn't they die in the winter?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So before
Good
we
question.
get to more of that stuff, how do you feel about the plot point that dad is cheating on sick mom with young hottie next door?
It's the only thing to me that makes sense of why the son would turn on the dad, right? Because he's kind of like his hero. So if they're,
Yeah.
I didn't personally love it, like, because I agree, Todd. I much would have preferred sort of the father son angle of them getting stuck out there or whatever and having to survive, which we got some of that. But if you're going to turn the plot and have son and mother going out there, it's the only thing that sort of makes sense to me at that point.
Steve?
Yeah, I liked the shift, because he loves both his parents equally, and he saw it as like the biggest betrayal by his dad to like basically sleep with someone else while his mom is still sick. Like she's probably gonna die soon. He doesn't know that yet, but she's probably gonna die soon. And it's just like such a fucking like evil thing to do to a kid. And so yeah, I totally see it. His love for his mom was just like stronger than the betrayal. Like he already felt betrayed by his dad because he felt that he was like lying about him already, like making him out for a bigger hero than he actually was. And I think all that combined made it seem that he just didn't trust his dad anymore.
Yeah, which having teenagers myself, I can understand it. Like kids are fucking a-holes, and so are parents, though, to a certain extent as well. So no one's like innocent in it. But like your dad's pumping you up, dude, in front of the crowd. Fucking live it up. Like you killed a zombie, yeah, you froze a little bit, but hey, you still did a good job. Which brings me back to my point of one, I know that the elder said once you go out, no one's going out to rescue you, but your dad is definitely fucking going out to rescue you, and your mom's gone. That guy holds a big stick in that fucking camp. He's definitely leaving, and we don't see him ever again until the very end of the movie. Which I just he's the biggest dick on the fucking island. He's definitely going out there. I didn't buy that one second. What about you
Yeah,
guys?
the high tide was up though. He tried. He ran like I don't know, like 20 feet into the water, and
No, no, no.
then
He didn't try. Yeah, he
That was
tried
at
at
the
the
very, very end,
very
though.
end. Yeah,
He's talking about like right when they got
yeah. Right
like
when he realizes it, he
yeah,
would he would be out the fucking gate,
right because they're
right.
gone
running
for
down.
day. They were gone for days
Yeah.
or however long. I
so it
agree.
was
I mean,
only
it's not
like
something I
2 days,
thought about.
right? Like a day or two, if you think about it.
He would have noticed though within an hour.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
that his
yeah,
wife
he
and
would have
son
put
are
two and two
gone.
together.
But
His mom's
yeah,
not screaming at him.
Right.
right.
But that's another big point to me is like there's no way mom survives and the son survives because we already proved that the son was not really ready yet, and he does like grow as a character and he becomes a little badass, but at that point he's not. And even mom has to save his life, which I didn't get at all, that scene. Like I know she blacked out and killed a zombie, but the kid didn't wake up when they're fighting over him. Like, come on.
Fair. Well, that's why we're introduced to Eric, which
Oh
we can
God,
let's
dude.
talk about the Eric side plot,
Hold
which
on,
is
I
a
don't
good
want to
place to
shit
start.
on it though. Steve.
So go for it.
No,
Okay, fine, fine, fine. Go for it.
What shit on what? What?
No, I
Wait.
mean
All
I'm
right,
just
let's
gonna
go
shit
to
on
Eric.
Eric too, so go for it.
I'm not gonna shit on Eric. So this is my favorite part of the second half of this movie is sort of the meeting of Eric, who is the military character. I thought Eric at first was going to be the kid we see in the beginning of the movie. I thought, who it wasn't obviously him, but I thought, oh, okay, this is going to be the introduction of this kid we saw, and this is how they're going to introduce him into the character. It's not. He is just a random sort of side quest character. Completely unnecessary to the plot, really, at all. It really is sort of a side quest plot that really goes essentially nowhere. But I really liked his character. I thought he was good. He was funny. He was very human at times. And personally, I liked that inclusion because honestly, I'm not gonna lie, without him in the second part of this movie, I probably would have liked it even less.
So before Todd shits on it, I like the Eric thing. I think he was necessary to explain them who are not seasoned killers how they can get all the way to, the boneyard, right? Because they were out of their depth. Obviously, they had a lot of trouble. They got lucky the first day, they didn't run into anything, which they kind of established you can get around, pretty well unless a horde comes after you. They got lucky the first night, not so much on the second day because, the zombies kind of attacked them and they went to the gas station, but they were lucky. So Eric was the plot point to get them from, that situation in a kind of interesting way, almost to their end goal, right? Which is the fire that they're going to. And I really like the Eric stuff. It brought also a little bit of levity, like the comedy, uh, in the, that it needed a little bit, and we got a little bit with that, with like the iPhone and the whole like she can walk, like fuck this. So I really love the Eric stuff. So yeah.
Eric, man. All right, no, I loved Eric too, and which is why it's a bummer that he was literally only introduced to get his head boiled because we couldn't go from the mom being nice and we're feeling sorry for her to her having her head boiled. So, oh, we got to do it to another character first. Let's do it to this fucking Eric guy that's in the Navy and his boat went down. They don't have another fucking ship nearby. You fucking idiots didn't learn from part two when the Americans lost London and you guys did the same thing. You send one boat out. So these guys get to fucking it's completely random transition too. We're with the mom and dad and then we smashed cut to these fucking soldiers like running around. I'm like, is this the beginning of the fucking outbreak? Like, what are we doing? And those guys get stomped out by Alpha and his crew. And then poor Eric, man, he gets his head boiled and his hair fucking scraped off the head just so fucking Fines can do his little bullshit. Oh, remember blah, 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 Morte shit. And he's here, put his head on the fucking boneyard thing. And he's like, okay, I'll do it. Eric, justice for Eric, best character in this movie, and he's fucking boiled and then forgotten. And there's no way in hell they survived that gas station explosion either.
No,
That thing would have been a crater.
No, no way. Yeah, that thing would. Yeah, yeah, for sure. It was a cool scene though. That was a scene I definitely enjoyed. Obviously, with sort of the gas vapors. Would gas vapors still be fucking hanging out there in there
20,
like over
20 years later? I don't
Is
know.
it? I
Maybe.
guess. I
Yeah.
guess they.
If
I
it's
guess it
close,
would.
like-
Wouldn't it? I
But
guess.
even then,
Yeah.
there's
I
probably a
figured it
little
would have
bit of air
dissipated by
somewhere.
then,
Yeah.
but or something. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We'll go with it because it was a cool scene and I liked it. But yeah, man. Yeah, that scene with Alpha was pretty cool though. Obviously, it's where you see the Dong at its best. I would say running around, just fucking basically hitting the guy's chest at some points. It's so massive. That was fake, right? There was no way.
Yeah,
Like,
they
I don't
faked
know.
all the
it
nonsense
looked
in
it
this
looked
movie.
prosthetic. Yeah,
It's all
Yeah.
prosthetic, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I mean,
whoa.
was it?
It would have been funnier if it wasn't, like
He's just rock hard running around all the time.
right.
I mean, I don't know. Google Mandingo. If I don't know if you've ever seen him in
That's
the
a
porn
throwback,
industry,
dude.
but
I mean, just fucking Google Big Ronnie. So
Big Ronnie. Oh my God, dude, it was Big Ronnie.
it was Big Ronnie. Yeah. He's an alpha. I'm telling you, man.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about Alpha
so-
ripping spines and he's like he's a fucking predator?
I love
That was
it, man.
cool.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome. Loved it. I did
was
love
cool
that.
as
That
hell,
was
yeah.
fucking cool. Yeah, it was
Poor
awesome.
Eric though, he gets fucking his head ripped off,
Yeah,
and then
man,
they're just
fucking
carrying his head around
take
for 3 days.
Spine. Yeah. Well, that was the other thing, right? Would you really be carrying his head around? Like, I don't know.
Hell no.
Fucking leave him to fucking who cares at that point. But yeah, so then we're introduced to Ray Fiennes' character, who is established by the father to be sort of this mental doctor who kind of went crazy and is out there in the fire. But we are to find out he's not crazy. He's normal, but covers himself in iodine,
Iodine,
right? Because he says it hides the blood scent or something like that. Is that what it is from the infected? So that's how he goes about, and he's created this massive boneyard with all of the dead throughout the years. Apparently, while he's lived there, he burns bodies and creates the boneyard. Gentlemen, thoughts on this boneyard?
I like
it. Looks cool. It
Yeah,
looks cool.
It looks cool. Man's got to have a hobby, So he had,
Yeah, fair.
and there's precedent in real life. I mean, you look at the Paris catacombs, you look at the Capuchin monks, you look at all the like Palermo in Italy. Like people do this shit in history, And I guess he felt that that was the best way he could honor the victims that he found throughout his, research. Like that's why they thought he was so crazy because he had like 300 bodies like fucking lined up like crazy, like a madman. But he was just honoring those dead people, like Todd honors bunnies. Like it's just that was his way of doing things, and I
Nice
thought it
tie-in.
was
Nice tie-in.
yeah, thanks. I thought it was really cool, and he did provide some insight into some other parts of the movie. He when they said about the baby, he kind of mumbled to himself a little bit, and I wish I'd like I could write stuff down, but I was at the theater.
The placenta, the wonders of
Yeah,
the placenta.
exactly.
So he
So-
said he said the placenta, which I'm not buying. I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah,
I'm not
but-
buying it because either way, you came from the birth canal,
Yeah.
and you bleed a lot. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, like at least he's like thinking about it as a doctor, thinking like what he doesn't know. He didn't test the woman, he didn't check, but he's making theories in his head that how could this be possible? And he's thought about this apparently in the past. He says, I've thought this could have happened, and he's like kind of mumbling to himself about what could have happened. So I think they're setting up things, for the future. And yeah, I liked his character. He was a badass. He was fun to watch.
So
Am I a terrible?
Go ahead, Joe.
Am I a terrible person that I'm with Eric? I'm leaving that fucking baby, man. Like I am not.
I'm leaving the baby too. You don't know if it's
I'm
going to kill
leaving-
your entire island.
You know, right? Yeah, I'm leaving it, man. Also, like the baby crying and shit. It's not my baby. It's not my responsibility.
Plus, the baby
I'm
never made a
terrible,
single
but
fucking
it's not my baby. It's not my responsibility. It could potentially be infected, and just it crying alone could possibly kill me.
No, Joe, if you had your kid with you and you were the mom, you would not take that baby either. You put your family first.
Right.
And it just came out of a fucking infected woman that immediately turned on them after their little nice moment, But yeah, Fiennes' character, I didn't like. I'm against it as well. Like I thought the bone thing looked pretty cool, like visually. But are we supposed to believe that this guy's lived in this little the steel grate above his head for 28 years?
He's got the
And-
water. He's got the water.
No, he doesn't. Because he says, they can't get across the water. Immediately gets across the water and attacks them. Immediately. And then, once again, go back to it. Let's just let Alpha live. Why the fuck?
Didn't he say, like, again, like I couldn't take notes, but didn't he say that if you kill an alpha, there's something that happens to the tribe? Like they go crazy or they go like there's like some kind of hive mind between
I don't know,
the
but
tribes.
kill all of them. Kill every single one of them you see.
Yeah, man. Agreed. Yeah,
Fuck
if you are able to knock out an alpha, you kill it. Yeah, I agree. I don't understand it. Even if there is this weird logic that they go crazy, all right, I guess, whatever. But they're
They're
fucking
already
easy
crazy.
to kill.
They're already crazy.
Right, yeah.
How
much
more crazy are they
crazier
gonna
can they get? True
Oh
that.
boy! And then mom fucking just all that journey, and she just fucking dies. And I'm like, and here, like,
Well,
thought it was-
mean, we knew she was fucked, I
yeah,
guess,
of
right?
course we
Like,
did, but it's so funny to me that he's like, "Here's your mom's skull." I'm like, "What?" The poor fucking kid. Like, it's
It was
a little
like a
warm,
s-
though.
I didn't
don't burn
mi-
your hands on it.
yeah. I mean, whatever. At that point, it's like, your mom's gonna die, so at least she goes out in like the way she wanted to go out, I suppose. And
The
it's
blow
more,
dart to the fucking neck.
the
That's
whole-
how she wants to go out.
the whole. Well, it's the most peaceful way for her to go out, so she doesn't have to suffer through cancer
I
and
get
like
you.
eating her away and stuff like that. And she's already been suffering, so like I didn't mind it. It's like they sort of established that remember memento mori, remember death, and then of course memento amore, remember love, sort of thing. I mean, it's also sort of like this coming of age for the boy. He's learning about death, learning about and all that. So
Kinda
yeah, I
like
thought it was a
us.
nice scene, and it was a nice scene, and it was a nice visual of him sort of climbing to the top. But I don't know, like
Yeah,
If you liked it, you liked it.
this
I
man,
personally
this
didn't.
man built this all by himself. Structurally it
How did he
seemed
build it?
very strong, but he's a good builder.
How
I
did
don't
he
know.
build it? Off of, like Steve said, off his jizz over
He
28
had years. He had years to do it. I mean,
He's like a fucking beaver. He
whatever.
just like
Eh,
gnaws on wood and puts it together.
yeah,
I mean,
he's- you-
to
man,
be fair, like
something to keep you busy. You got to keep busy in an apocalypse where you have literally nothing to do.
yeah, like I don't know if you guys watched a
By
TV
yourself.
show called Alone, but they could build a fucking log cabin in like 35 days. If this guy has fucking years, I'm sure he could build something pretty fucking crazy.
Question though, he seemed very even keeled. I would think 28 years of like isolation by yourself would drive you fucking insane, though.
But he's not.
Like-
He's even killed in like some ways, but he's a little out there in other
He's
ways
the,
too.
he's
You know?
the
Yeah.
father of that infected baby, dude.
Maybe.
He's snatching the infected one out.
Ooh, all right.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, he's a little
Yeah.
fucking freak, that guy.
No, I like that.
Ice water.
I like the whole assisted suicide thing. It's like, he probably
Why
told
did they
her
just
like
do that for her on the island to begin with?
they didn't know.
They don't have any. I
They
know.
Well,
no
they didn't know
doctor.
she was dying.
She
like,
barely even
yeah.
knows what the fuck's going on. Like, what's the quality of life?
Yeah, but they don't know. It could be something curable.
Well, she
Like,
said she said she thought she had cancer, but she
Yeah,
didn't know
there's
for
no
sure
proof, right?
because
Yeah.
like, right, there's no proof.
So here's the problem I have
But-
too with the whole plot, and I talked about it earlier. You don't think the UN is going to drop some supplies to this island?
they specifically said that they want nothing to do with it. Like they are
I know, but
completely
you-
like do not touch that island.
But dude, we're fucking assholes as humans, and we have
Yes.
North Sentinel Island in India, which is uncontacted tribe, and people are still trying to convert them to Christianity. So like, that would happen. You'd have people going over to England and trying to loot. There's so much like things that I think you have to turn your brain off for, which sucks because this series wasn't at that point yet. And even when we get to the very fucking ending, like the kid takes the baby back to the village, leaves it on the rampart or whatever, takes off. Dad tries to get him. He can't. Son's on his own little journey. He wrote him a note. Dad, don't try to find me. I'm going to go, whatever. And then guys, we get the, we get the tracksuit power fighters, whatever the fuck you guys doing backflips and front flips and side flips. Oh, Joe loves it. What do you think about our Power Rangers at the end there?
Man, like I was actually a bit higher on this movie until that scene, but to me it's unforgivable. Like it's an introduce. I get it. I guess like you had to do this. Like you had to bring this kid back. I guess for whatever these next two movies are going to bring to us. Why he's brought back, I don't know. Obviously, so this kid can join in this tribe or whatever you want to call these guys.
The tracksuit boys.
But man, why introduce them that way with the fucking tracksuits and the rock music? It just felt so fucking off the rails from the rest of this movie. It felt so out of place, and I know people were like, well, Power Rangers and tracksuits were really popular 28 years ago. I don't give a fuck. It still fucking sucked, and I hated every moment of it.
I mean, tell us how you really feel. Like,
Dave, you can't. Let's hear the defense for these.
No, I said at the beginning that's the one thing in the movie that I didn't like. It just felt so off. Like the movie is such a it's a very like raw, like from the score, the cinematography, the way the zombies look, the kills, like everything is so fucking raw and crazy and like down and dirty. And then these fucking like characters in tracksuits like doing fucking parkour and like ninja flips and shit come in with these gold chains and shit. Which is like, what the fuck is going on, And I get they're setting up the next movie, but it was almost like this was established lore, like a comic book movie introducing like a group that people know about, even though they look goofy. Like my best way of saying is in The Walking Dead, they have these almost like stormtrooper fucking characters that look super goofy. But if you read the comics, you know why they wear it and like they're actually really badass and everything like that. But there is no context. These are just fucking out of nowhere. And it was so weird to end the movie. And I always say, if you don't end your movie well, it could sour your entire experience. It's the same thing with a TV show. You can have the best TV show ever. If you fucking ruin that one last episode, somehow the entire rest of the show gets spoiled by it, So, yeah, that's the one, I guess, big negative I have with this movie is this ending.
So I know, Joe, you said you thought you knew who the kid was from the beginning. Did you? I thought it was Aaron.
Well, I thought it was good.
Aaron
I thought it was Eric. Oh,
Yeah, I did too at first.
Oh, Eric. Okay. I thought it was Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Me too, at the beginning.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
thought it was Eric.
Yep.
He's from
Yeah.
Sweden, right, Eric? Is he from
Yeah.
Sweden?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we learned that one of these tracksuit dudes is the kid from the beginning because he's still has the cross, and it's, I don't know, man. So yeah, what's next? Bone Temple.
Why are the tracksuits so clean though?
They're living in a
Like, those
mansion, dude.
tracksuits-
Wouldn't
fresh,
it be
man.
funny if
Is
just
this
on the other
28
side of the island, like it's a normal life, like everyone's
Perfect.
just fucking thriving,
It's a reality
Those
TV show. Like
tracksuits,
The
You're
Village.
right.
everyone else everyone else is wearing dirty clothes and they have fucking tracksuits that look like they were
Yeah.
just bought yesterday
They-
Holy
too.
shit,
Like that,
Todd. That's it.
man.
This should be
What?
the Truman Show. Like this whole time, this
Oh, imagine.
island was basically just a reality show.
Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah, oh man. It was just like honestly, you guys were like more high on it for me, but like the cascading effect that ending had for me, from like the baby and like, oh, I don't like this, and then to the fine stuff, I'm like, oh, I really don't like that. And then so at the end, I laughed out loud. I was like, what are we doing? Like, there's only 5 other people in the movie theater with me, thankfully, on a Saturday because I had to go see it on a Saturday, which I hate. But like, yeah, it's man, this movie was the biggest letdown I've had in years, it seems like.
Alrighty. And we literally just covered the entire movie. Yeah, I mean, I guess before we rate it, I mean, does this make you more excited? I know Steve, it makes you excited for Bone Temple. Todd is, I think there's potential. I mean, maybe, we after discussing with you guys, where this story could go, maybe. I think there's potentially room for improvement in the next two movies, but we'll see.
Yeah, I love that Steve loved it, and I love that people loved it. I love that people are going to the movies to see this and getting money out
It
the
did
door.
extremely well.
That's
It killed
awesome.
it in theaters. Yeah.
And I wanted to love it. Unfortunately, it wasn't for me, and I don't, fault anyone for loving this film because hey, he loved it, cool. Um,
One
but
thing I want to say that I've read a lot is people say that it's a tonal shift from the first half to the second half, and that threw a lot of people off. All of them have the same thing. 28 days later has a tonal shift. 28 weeks later has a tonal shift. So I don't know why it's like so unexpected. Like it just that's kind of what these movies are like, you know? So I thought it was fine in that regard.
yeah, I
Go.
just felt that 28 years later should be the part three, the ending of a trilogy from the first two films, not the part one of a new trilogy of new films. I think that's what they should have done. I think they should
Fair.
have ended this run and then gone with Killian Murphy, whatever you want to do, but just ended this one, keep it the same tone. And if you want to go fucking crazy with some Adidas wearing dudes, go for it. But as far as your original question, Joe, if am I excited for another one? Absolutely not, because
Mm-hmm.
the tone that they left off with, completely over the ridiculous bullshit. I have no interest in seeing that. Will I watch it? Of course. But like, am I excited for it?
Hmm.
Not at all.
Yeah. Fair. Um, and then just one technical thing I wanted to point out. Just I think they overused the shot with the kills with the zombies, like
Oh
whatever
yeah.
it was with the iPhone or whatever they did. They did it
Yeah.
like 7 times or whatever, and I'm like, all right, that's enough of that.
Yeah, the Matrix
um,
shot from like 2000 where it
yeah,
spins. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Looks cool once, maybe twice, but didn't fucking. It was a little overdone. All right, so let's get into rating this puppy. Yeah, man. I mean, I was disappointed, but I don't. I don't think it's like a terrible movie as much as I fucking hated the ending and some of the aspects. The first half of this movie is great. Like I really, really enjoyed it until sort of that shift, with the mother and stuff. The Eric character's cool though. But yeah, man, just I was still like, I think before that ending, I was like maybe 3.5, maybe even 4 had the ending been better. Like honestly, but the ending killed it for me, man. And to me, it was just unforgivable. So I give it a 3 out of 5. And if I were to rank it, I would go, days. I think in order: days, weeks, years for me.
Yeah, I think the better film here is keeping all the aspects of the first part of the film with the father and son bonding. And I think you bring Eric in right at the beginning, and you make it about him being from the real world and now being stuck permanently on this old and on this shitty ass world. And now he's part of the crew, and then we can expand upon his character and go from I live in the fucking real world, I don't have my girlfriend anymore, which is a funny scene. And then, she's gonna make out with my best friend, stuff like that. Have him introduce this world so we learn through the world through his eyes because he's a new character introduced. I thought that would have been the better film. And then you have, the father and son, playing in the woods, stuff like that, and you could have a big old sacrifice of the dad, and now the blah 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 blah. Unfortunately, we didn't get that, and I was severely let down to the point where I was just like, this movie is not great. Um, Love the opening, but you have to rate the whole movie on a whole, so I gave it 2.5 out of 5, and it's easily the worst one of the series for me.
Yeah, like I said, I loved it. I thought the score was really great. I thought it was menacing. I thought it was the most Like I really felt like the horror more in this one than the other ones, 28 Days starts off really horror, but then it kind of goes into that whole like military thing and it kind of slogs a little bit. But this one, I was on along for the ride the whole time, and yeah, I loved it. As far as my rating, I'd say 4 out of 5. It could have been a 4.5, but that ending really kind of knocked it down for me. As far as ranking them, I still put 28 Days first. I would put this one second, and Weeks later. Although I do like Weeks. It's not like it's bad. It's just I think it's the weakest of the three.
Top of the year for you, Steve, so far?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
Sinners is still easily number
Oh,
one.
that's right. I forget about Sinners. All right.
Yeah, it's
Top
in my
five,
top
though,
5
maybe?
right now.
Top 5
Will it
currently.
stay top 5? I don't know. I hope not.
Yeah.
I hope that I find a bunch of other good films. I don't think anything's gonna pass Sinners, to be honest, this year. But who knows? Sinners
No,
came out of
yeah,
nowhere. So
agreed.
I still need to watch that one, man.
It's streaming now, so you can
Yeah, I
definitely
gotta get off
it's out there,
off
and
of
it's hitting a free platform July 4th weekend. Actually, I think this weekend. So yeah,
Oh,
once
nice.
again, yeah, happy July 4th, by the way, everyone. This episode comes out on Friday, so for all of our American listeners, happy 4th of July. Celebrate safely, responsibly. Don't hold fireworks in your hands and whatnot. Save your hands, people. And put it in reverse, Terry, of course, as
Terry,
always.
back it up, Terry.
All right. That is going to wrap it up for this week's episode, folks. We
Letterboxd.
hope you enjoyed it. Oh, shit. You're right. Look at you. See, I take a week off and I
Yeah,
forget.
He's
All right.
sloppy.
What do our friends, all right, so there are our reviews. What do our friends over at Letterboxd have to say about this one? Closer to Steve, currently sitting at a 3.6 out of 5 over on Letterboxd. Alrighty. All right, so that is going to wrap it up for this week's episode. Steve, what do we got next week?
Well, it was your pick, Joe, and you were between two films, Copycat and Eden Lake, so we actually left it up to the Discord to vote, and it was like overwhelming majority for Eden Lake, so that's what we will be watching next week. Michael Fassbender, right? I think in that one.
Michael Fassbender. That's an early Michael Fassbender movie. Eden Lake from 2008. You can check it out. It is currently streaming over on Pluto TV, Plex, and you can rent it other places as well. It's all over the place. You should be able to access it pretty easily. One that I haven't watched probably since it first came out, but one I remember really infuriating me when I watched it the first time and really enjoying it. So I'm excited to revisit it. I'm excited. It's one I don't hear a lot of people talk about a lot. One I feel like was pretty underrated. So I'm excited to revisit, see if it still holds up. And we'll get to Copycat because I think Copycat's another underrated one as well. And it's on Netflix now. And I saw it broke the top 10 on Netflix for a movie that is that old. Is pretty impressive and pretty awesome. So we'll get to that at that point too. But next week, Eden Lake, go and check it out. Steve and Todd haven't seen it, so I'm very excited to hear both of their thoughts for their first watches on that one as well. But yeah, all right, so that's going to be it for this week's episode, folks. We hope you enjoyed our episode. Don't forget, leave us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app. You can email us anytime, thehorrorsquadpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on our socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads. Just search The Horror Squad Podcast. And join our Discord if you haven't already. Of course, completely and totally free to join. We have Movie Club every single month, usually the last week of the month, hosted by Steve. Amazing community over there. It's linked over on our Instagram, or you can send me an email or a DM through our socials, and we will get you a link to join that Discord. We also have merch. Hats, folks. We have hats now over there. tpublic.com, the Horror Squad Podcast. We got dad hats and trucker hats now that you can buy. All of the designs have it. You just scroll. Once you click on it, I know it's just scroll to the bottom, and it'll give you like all the different options for all the merch. So yeah, go pick out some hats now as well. We just noticed the other day that they're available. Yeah, so that is it, folks. We'll see you next week for Eden Lake. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.